proven to have such a great story. Like, since 2011, you give us the Court of Owls, and all of this is just a catalyst to what we get for Dark Knight's Metal, to what we get for this Justice League run, to what we get, for what else ever. I mean, you got The Last Night on Earth, which is supposed to be his Dark Knight Returns. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be his magnum opus. It's hard to have a torch passed from somebody who gave you such stellar stories. Like, even when you killed off Bruce Wayne after Endgame.
Try not to hit the table.
I'm saying, even when you killed off Bruce Wayne after Endgame, the whole poetry and motion of the Joker and them dying in the cave and everything.
That was beautiful, by the way.
Right, it was, like, even with the blood coming together and making a little heart like,
behind the bodies.
That
was dope.
Little shit like that. I mean, you got to give Greg Capullo a run for his money too. Everything about that whole run for them, and it was 50 issues. Yeah. Let's look at that. Yeah. Like with the new 52, every main line was supposed to have 52 issues, and so we discussed Tom King. It's like, oh man, he stopped at 85. Why is let him finish his run? Scott Snyder gave us 5, maybe 6. And then a couple fillers in the meantime. Let's count them out. You got the Court of Owls. Mm-hmm. You got the Night of Owls. Right. You can say that they're one and the same, and I will give you that. Then you have Zero Year, which was 11 issues long. It felt long. And then you got Endgame. And then that's where you get the long super heavy when Jim Gordon was Batman. And believe it or not, that was one of those situations where I was like,
shit was cool though. The suit? You didn't like the suit? Come on, man.
I have to go back and read Super Ugly and appreciate it.
Let's time out. Let's time out on that. They throwing shots at Iron Man. Come on,
I get it. I mean, that's what they do. I get it.
It was subtle shade, but it was entertaining shade. And it was kind of violent, bro. Let's keep 100. That fight scene where they was in that room and the gas and shit.
But see, and that's the thing. Scott Snyder gave us 2 good villains that have never faced the grace of a comic page.
Good point.
With the Court of Owls and a Mr. Bloom. Like, taking somebody serious with a flower on their face.
Creepy as
right.
Fuck.
Right. With no mouth, no nothing. But Tom King has been focused on Bane for 85 issues. I mean, you got Gotham, Girl, you got these little different things. I could say good parts about Tom King's run is I Am Suicide and I Am Bane. That's it. I enjoyed it. But then when you get into the aspect of it's like, oh, I'm gonna finally marry Bruce Wayne with Selena Kyle. You've all been waiting for it, and then you say, I'm breaking up with you because if I marry you, then there will be no Batman. You won't have him drive. I mean, that's fine. What really got me off of his train was the War of Jokes and Riddles.
The conclusion, I'll say, pissed me off.
Kite Man was the shit though. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, that side story. That nigga. First off, welcome to this podcast episode. We just been shooting the shit. If you don't know who I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Fuck that.
Man, it's the underground king of the rounds, Tzu Vega. I'm not gonna hit you with the what up, because this is a family oriented. But nah. Like I said, we just shooting shit. Man. We just shooting the shit, man. Just enjoying the conversation. If you still riding with us for the next couple hours, man, you'll be all right.
If y'all don't know, man, this dude, I consider my little brother. We literally grew up together, from goddamn memory cards to no memory cards to PlayStation to arguments over action figures.
Nigga, the reason why I grind for Ultimate Blades and the best weapons in any game is because, like I told you that, like, nigga, waking up in the middle of the night, you like a zombie, like, bro, what are you doing? You'll see in the morning.
Right.
And this is like, we didn't even have the internet. It was just like strategy guys, and you just having like we follow this as is.
You know what? I just remember something else you fucking put me on. I hated Mega Man before you.
And that's your ringtone.
Nigga. Nigga. I went through life not understanding the weakness concept of Mega Man. I think it was Mega Man X2 you put me on with the dude. What was
Zero?
Yeah.
Zero to go. But,
Yeah, all day, every day. Because I hated X. No offense to X. But once you play as Zero and try to go back and play as X,
he's a Mary Sue.
Yeah, he's like, he's a Superman. He's the bland nigga out the group. But it was one boss fight in particular that you put me on that I seen you handle that made me go back and play Mega Man again. I think it was Axel something. It was the green nigga that was made out of flowers, and he had like this whip for an arm. Seeing you handle that stage was like, how can I call myself? Because I fancied myself a gamer back in the day before gaming was like as prevalent as it is, and I'm like, how can I consider myself the gamer if I can't beat a Mega Man game?
Well, how do you think I felt when you actually got to Ganondorf? Like, this is, see,
nigga, that was a struggle. I don't know if you understand.
I'll say this here because I think looking at you handle Ganon's castle and me knowing that I was struggling with the Sand Temple, but it had so many riddles that you had to solve within it.
Right.
So, like, I think to this day, your one up on me when it comes down to Ocarina of Time is that I never got the ice arrows out the maze.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna get all of the arrows,
but see, that's the thing. I got everything else. I got the mirror shield, the Garudian sword. Like, I got all that. But just that's just one thing. And I know I got a memory card somewhere for my GameCube, but I'm just not finna dig all the way through it. But that's just like a bucket list. You just got to go back and get it,
bro.
And I still don't like going on YouTube and just seeing the easy way out.
That's what drove me to do all that shit, believe it or not. Because the shit you didn't see, because you used to come over to the crib and you see my progress and stuff. The shit you didn't see was like this. I refused to look at cheat sections for Ocarina of Time because I felt like I was doing myself a disservice. So I would physically, like, I'd be on the phone or something playing Ocarina of Time looking for heart pieces, just in random places, looking for them goddamn arrows, finding new ways to beat a boss. I would start other save slots just to find effective ways of doing shit.
I literally, when I got to where you were at the end, I literally just, it was almost like a photographic memory of YouTube. I watched you play Ganon so many times that I knew when to duck and roll and tuck and roll, and when the zombies would slow you down and how you had to kind of just move closer to the rail so you didn't get caught up in the gaze. Like, all of that shit. And like, God tier, like, you were the God tier Zelda of Ocarina of Time player, period. To this day, I can't even say that I don't even have all the hearts. Like, nigga, that's just different. Like, I made it. Like, I checked out. Like, nigga, you get a 79 for completion, nigga. Like, it's no S rank for me on that one.
That was the first and last game I played like that, because that I can't tell you how many hours I put in that game, bro. Man. And then you got to remember this, Lost Woods, that area where you got to play the flute with the group of motherfuckers.
Yeah. I
played that for hours. The fucking water temple, bro, took me months to beat.
I think
because I was not getting that water level shit. My brain couldn't process that shit.
Yeah. Like, see, a lot of this stuff you went and played back a second time when I watched you play it, and excuse me, it was almost like you was on cruise control because you just already knew what the fuck to do. So I would never say, yeah, I be Ocarina of Time because I'm that nigga. No. I watched this and I was just like, maybe, like, I knew for a fact I went right back home and just did it right then and there because I was like, let me not forget this. And that's just that's how I progressed through. Just like seeing you just do all of that shit, and it's like, yeah, I can't. This is a bronze medal. This is that 4th place on Mario Kart where you.
Nah, bro. I never looked at it like that.
That's not that, like, when you look at it, it's like, all right, yeah, you're gonna watch your big brother always do, the cool shit. And that's why, like, even recently, one of the conversations we had about the Ultimate Blade, and I was like, hell yeah, nigga, I shut myself off for a week. Like, we finna do all these goddamn runs. We finna get all these Oracle crystals because I wanted, like, nigga, we got to have it. And WWJD instead of Jesus. What would Jeremy do in the situation? It's like, nigga, I didn't go sleep till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning trying to just do the tedious shit,
bro. You gotta
tedious shit. I swear to God, nigga, I was driving downtown and I saw a Mickey Mouse emblem on the back of somebody's car and wanted to take a picture.
Hell no.
I think there's a luckily emblem here. Like that's how wired in I was. Just like, but yeah, when I got it, like it was worth it. Like you can see the results of what it does on YouTube, but when you realize that it cut like life down like butter, like melted butter, just like you took the butter knife off a hot iron and just like
fucking crazy.
Come on, but I think we got a lot to discuss,
man. And this is not going to be on the rails. This is going to be everywhere. Shit. What else is it?
I mean, we can actually, because this Square Enix shit's been bothering me. So I can.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it, man. First off, I'm gonna say this. My first problem is that they announced it way too fucking early. You can't do
2015,
that, bro, because they did the same shit with Final Fantasy
versus 15. Yeah, but you said 2006, and then you give it to us 10 years later,
bruh. Stop doing that shit, dog.
But this is the thing where I say, from a business standpoint, you said that people will go back to 15 years later because no matter what type of slack it gets, they still gave you a complete game. You can say, "Oh, well, I got DLC." Every game has DLC now.
True.
Now.
Quality
DLC. I mean, even giving us an Arden DLC when it wasn't initially asked for, but you did give us more, context to who he was. And then there's a parallel that somebody put on Twitter, and I had to repost it. When Bahamut was telling both of them, like, nigga, you have to sacrifice yourself. You have to sacrifice yourself for the people who have did something for you, and then you have to sacrifice yourself because you're here to be the villain on purpose. Like, the thing that stood out is, for his light, your limitless shadow has to be right behind.
Duality. Yep.
Yeah. And I feel like it won't be appreciated. Like you said, it won't be appreciated by us. Like, I appreciate it. It has a special place
to the elephant. We won't see the whole picture.
Yeah, like it's one of those things that we'll look at the next generation and like, that's cute. Because, well, we have a remake and they can enjoy it. Well, we're getting a remake and they can enjoy it, but it's not Final Fantasy VII. I think with Final Fantasy VII for us, or for the people who grew up in like 97, 98, the millennials had 10. Well, no, they had 13. They had 13 because we still had 10 in high school. 10 and 10 too. Yeah. Because they came out right behind each other. That's high school years. But like for people who was new to it, because Lightning is a character who I can respect, but you're not gonna see me get excited for Lightning. Like even in Dissidia, I have never chosen her.
Lightning was it's pretty bland. She
female Cloud, but you can see it.
What? She's not interesting though.
Don't say that out loud.
I'm just gonna be 100 because I have all the 13s.
I do too. I stopped playing after a certain point.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's linear as fuck.
To me, story wise, 13-3 made sense, but I was personally more vested in 13-2 than 13-1. Yeah. And the way that ended was poetic to me. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. People can shit on it all they want. I didn't care about the what's his name? Her sidekick, Nail. What's the nigga name from 13-2?
I think Nail. I think it is.
Anyway, Caius, I felt was a dope villain. I get it.
Hope is a character who I continue to root for.
The kid? Oh, he had a fucked up situation, though.
Yeah, man, because you...
And then he had to partner with the nigga that he thought
Snow,
was...
yeah. And that's the thing. And that's the thing, feeling that now.
I would have fired off on that nigga on sight.
but even if you look at it, man, the only thing he saw was his mama falling. And Snow letting them go.
That's all it takes.
I get it.
yeah. That's all it takes.
I get it, but his maturity from the beginning, from the first one all the way to the third one, he grew like a mother. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the 13 cast like that.
They're not great at all.
Like, I'm not the biggest fan. I
don't even like Fang.
I mean, Fang is the Beatrix of that game. Beatrix boss. Like, you can't take nothing away from Beatrix. I feel like, they gave us Undercover Brother and had a chocobo in his hair. Like, a lot of this was phoned in. Like, look at how linear the game was.
Oh my God.
Look how linear it was. Like, we already had open world in the 7 and 8 and in 9, and like, you don't get an opportunity to travel like that. It felt like a long demo.
That's a good analogy, because it was rather restricted. Even the little what's the little green things, and not the calm lands, I forgot the area they called it, but it was kind of like the calm lands from 10.
The orbs, like the
they
orbs
gave you missions
and the drops and stuff was just like blatant. It was just like right there in front of you.
And the grind wasn't enjoyable. I'm gonna be honest with you. That little Crystarium shit for 13, the first one.
Yeah, stop playing it, bro.
That shit was garbage. And then you had to get little bits and shit.
I stopped playing it,
bro. And the story.
Fans, see, this is the thing about the fan base. When people think, "Oh, you like Final Fantasy," we don't like everything.
No,
that's the thing. We don't. People think that we like everything because there's a name associated with it, and you can get easily misconstrued and fucked up because you think like I wish the nigga would bring me Final Fantasy. I have Final Fantasy 13, but if they didn't know throughout this conversation today, and it's like, oh shit, I brought you this lightning T-shirt or something, like don't give me that. They tried to force the Cloud narrative on Lightning so much by even giving her his soldier uniform as DLC. So she was monotone. She was not interesting.
She was boring, bro. She was the most boringest. She was that. You know how games have like an objective list, like in the corner. She was literally that. She was just there to be like, okay, let's get to this point. But if they made her, she wasn't even connected to her sister, bro. Like, nigga, if I'm, when you were Lassie, whatever the fuck they was calling themselves, when you was cursed, you had to do your shit or become a crystal or a monster, that would make me personally vested to have some sort of emotion.
Type 0 did it better.
Wow.
Type 0 did it
better.
Let's
talk about it.
Type 0 did it better.
Let's talk about it. That class shit was crazy.
And this is why we're talking about Hajime Tabata right now. Type 0
slept on.
Now, pros and cons of Type 0. I hate the voice acting. It is. I hate it. 9. I hated 9. Like, Karasume was, discount Itachi. Not Itachi. Katachi. Like, he was, but I rooted for him though. Like, nigga, I wanted you to win, dude. Like, and then you sacrifice yourself. Like, Type 0 had a lot of good shit going on because, like, even in the cutscenes where you seen like Neo Bahamut and Odin riding like that rail of lightning, that rail of ice, and then Odin came through and struck that. Like, there was a lot of things Type 0 did right. And then you're going off of this Crisis Core engine, and you still take the opportunity of people not remembering
after they
die.
And that's the soul of a game. Like, you have to make a game have something or a premise or a situation that's fucked up enough to make you feel it. Because imagine if you're in that situation where your comrade could die,
bro,
and you don't know.
But I mean, even if you go through the whole aspects of this, and this is what you have to respect about a Final Fantasy game, is that they make you appreciate the cast. if they're compelling enough. Because even on the strength of I hated 9, I just hated his voice acting. But the camaraderie between everybody in that story, like even with Machina, feeling some type of way, like, oh, let me pull you to the side. I know you chum with these niggas, but let me tell you, these are the reason why your brother is dead. Because I mean, let's look at Type 0 from the beginning, and you get the dope ass cutscene where they finna invade, but you get to the game itself, and you get Machina's brother like right there. He's riding with this bloody chocobo, you know, he's half past dead anyway, and then Ace makes his grand entrance, you know, I'm here, I'm right here, and you know he gets to that point, and this, you don't even really know who he is, you just know he's finna die.
Yep.
And you see this the first 15 minutes of this game, and it's like, man, this shit's sad as fuck. This dude here is next to his only friend, which is his ride, and the chocobo is protecting him while he can't defend himself. And you play this game and you wonder, like, bro, this was on PSP before it got here,
right?
And then you see Ace and you come in and he turn around, it's like you want to say goodbye to him. That's when Queen, you know, tells him, like, you know, just go and say goodbye. And then you turn around and you get this Spanish guitar playing, and then you have this slow motion turnaround, and you just walking in the midst of all these bombs and these missiles flying in your direction. You badass. Like you look like you can't bust a grape in a fruit fight, and you throwing cards, but then you realize this is that nigga.
Yep.
And then you get so invested with everybody. Like it's 12 people in this class. You got you got Ace, you got Trey, you got Queen, you got King, you got Jack. I mean,
Jack was my nigga.
You got 8. I mean, you got. I think I appreciate King as a character only because of his mechanics.
Okay, and I like 8 as well.
If you couldn't run up on niggas like that on Type 0, you would easily get your ass handled. So you had to learn how to fight from a distance, and that's the thing with the muscle memory with King. Like his reload time was a split second, but
button pressing.
Yeah, but I got long ways with having Trey, King, and Ace as my group.
That's OP.
But you have to mix and match.
That's OP. You definitely.
You have to mix and match because you gotta think about it before you can get these summons. It's like you had to fight them yourself. Like what's one of those? It's one of the first few missions, and you get in not Odin, not Alexander. It's a summon that's that you fight right before you get into the Citadel. It's like, god damn it. But gave me hell. I can't remember right off. It'll come to me like 30 minutes later in this conversation. But you just have to keep a distance, and especially when you fight a Lassie.
Yeah.
Because the Lassie was a bitch. Like, honestly, it's too overpowered. One hit, and it's like I literally ran out of all my members.
That happened to me with the fight. What was it? The Gundam one? When the school get attacked?
Yeah, like the discount Zex. There's a lot of things in Type 0.
Yeah.
That I feel like
they were paying homage to other shit.
I get it because that was Colonel Zex. If I've never seen him, that's Mirado Peacecraft. If I've never seen him before in my life, but it's a PSP game, and you wonder, and it's like, why hasn't this one gotten so much? And I knew that it was either a gamble when I saw the game for $10, and I was like, either I'm gonna hate it or I'm just gonna get tired of it. And then as I get into it, I'm like, well, wait a minute, and it's like I should have gave out my money for this. And you look into 15, like you said, Square Enix is really big at putting stuff out too quick.
Yeah.
And that's what Pavlov's theory of salivation comes into play. Because
this nigga.
you get in front of E3, you tell us, all right, hey, it's ready. But wait a minute. Just this part is. So you mean to tell me that you're going to stretch 6 hours worth of content into 50 hours worth of content? If that's not saying we're putting water in some already watered down Kool-Aid, and then your mama come home and then she expected to drink it, and then she realized this shit is not as sugary or as good as it's supposed to be, and then you're confronted about the Kool-Aid not being as sweet as it was before she left, and then you could say, well, I just made a new batch. How, nigga?
Right.
How? Because you can't ground zeros me. You can't ground zeros me. And because being a big fan of Metal Gear Solid, I know what it's like recently to be told, oh yeah, it's being split into 2 games. And you get ground zeros, and it's like, yeah, you get this one mission. Or you get this one base.
They gave us a demo. They sold us a $30 demo. I reserved that
$30 tanker mission.
Yeah. That could either be 45 minutes or 10 minutes. Depending on how you play.
Depending on how you run. Like,
and they fucked us on that one, dog. That was a cash grizzab. That Konami got us on that one, bro.
Man, look, with that conversation, it makes you wonder whether that trigger was pulled by Hideo Kojima.
Oh, it wasn't. He already said it in the interview. I'm gonna stop and said it in the interview. Hideo hates to have his work guessed by the fans.
Right.
So he wanted to put out a demo to see what everybody thought, because we hadn't seen much. We seen the new engine.
Yeah.
Because remember, Metal Gear was PlayStation exclusive, and then he announced he had a new engine, and he picked up an Xbox controller. Everybody freaked out about that. Yeah. So people were asking questions.
Yeah, that's when Young first brought it to everybody's attention.
Right. So people had assumptions on what the story was going to be, because it takes place after Peace Walker.
Classic.
Oh, god damn. That's another game that was on PSP that should have been goddamn
classic. Everything about Peace Walker was
phenomenal.
Was like, it was even worth catching Zadarnov like 8 times.
Bruh, funny as shit. I wasn't even mad at catching this nigga.
But the fact that you getting to fight Zeke and having a better boss battle than Peace Walker initially. Like, and I think that's where the disconnect comes in with media, period. Not even just games. It's like everything now is phoned in, like, literally.
It's
because how much effort you see get put into a game that took half the time to make, versus we get this AAA franchise, and this is supposed to be, like you said, the follow up to Peace Walker, and we don't even see the 3rd chapter. That shit's on Blu-ray,
bro. When I watched the 3rd chapter,
disappointed. When
I found out what actually happens in the end of Metal Gear Solid 5,
fuck that game.
When I saw what pisses, my whole concept has always been, no offense to Solid Snake, no offense to him, but the charismatic motherfucker that made me like Metal Gear was
Liquid.
Why was Liquid so fucking mad? That had been my reigning question for years.
And you kind of got it.
And why was this nigga wanting his body? Why did he want his body? Why was he so mad? Why he wanted Big Boss's body? You give me the breadcrumbs of seeing this little nigga that looked like Liquid. You give me the honor of catching him, which was a bitch for me. I ain't gonna lie, it took me about an hour.
Running around a little shit, yeah.
Nigga, with them child soldiers.
Yeah, with the Africans, which you can't kill. Yeah.
I ain't try to kill him. I had a little issue with that with myself. I'm like, if they black, I ain't killing them.
You ran out of tranquilizers?
I did. I ain't gonna front. So Stage was hard as a bitch for me because the tactical way I took about it. But anyway, I was attracted to this game because of Liquid. No disrespect to Big Boss.
That's all I wanted. I wanted the lore. I wanted what
we needed, that bridge.
I wanted what Eva. I wanted more of that because Metal Gear Solid gave you so much lore, but they also left you with so many more questions.
Right, and I felt like where Metal Gear Solid was going into a tangent. For what 5 was looking like to be, it was going to be that circle that closes back, and
that was part of the advertisement. It was like it brings a full circle.
It was like, all right, you're going to get everything and understand, because now we understand why Big Boss became the way he is. We got that, but now let's see how you fucked up with the kids. And when I watched on YouTube about him. Not boss, but you know what I mean. Him
Venom.
Firing at him.
You yourself, the player.
Right. Firing at him and hitting Liquid. And that's what causing, everything, shooting Liquid. I was like, that would have been the ultimate end. Like, for me, if they would have shut it right then and there, I'm like, got it, love it, A++, Metal Gear's done, leave it alone. Let's, we got it. It's perfect. But getting that shit where this nigga gets the fucking test tube and shutting off, I'm like,
no. Let's because my whole mood just changed. Let's talk about the fact that Skullface never really had a purpose.
Nigga, what is XOF? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Insert generic army here.
And that's why I feel like that's what we will get with the 7 remake.
How the fuck you bring in Volgan and not talk about Volgan? We have to find out about Volgan through a goddamn tape.
Side mission.
Come on, bro.
Side mission.
You Volgan was the bad at Kuwabara. Let him say Kuwabara or something.
One time. But these are things because
that shit pissed me off.
It's either Konami was like, we're not going to give you no more money for this.
It had to be because it was a lot of shit.
Think about the impact of actually seeing the fact that Zero visits Big Boss while he's still in a coma
in the hospital.
Nigga. and Ocelot like at the door, and he giving him his speech. It's like, yeah, I've arranged for this to happen, because
we needed that in the video.
We got closure with Guns of the Patriots. We got closure with him turning off his life support and everything, but Cypher was supposed to be shelled out a lot more. It's you had a lot of great ideas, but it's just like, fuck it, we doing it live. Like, we just gonna roll it out. We're gonna make $100 easy off of the hype of people really appreciating this game. And I mean, it's Konami. They make better Plinko machines and stuff now. But I mean, Capcom.
Finally, Capcom got out of their rut because they was going there as well.
Almost. There's a domino effect in Japan right now of harking on the fan base of people who really appreciate it and then giving you half or a little bit over half of a game. Because if you talk about that, if we still in the conversation of 5s, Devil May Cry 5 was, it was, you look on your face just changed though.
You mean to tell me my final fight was just the introduction of Virgil back, even though we knew it was Virgil the whole fucking time? Like, that's how you end the game? I don't get to play as Virgil. We don't have an underlying true boss. Like,
nah, I mean, Urizen was a better boss than Virgil, and he was Virgil.
and then what pissed me off, Trey, is that if you're gonna have some mystery to your game, have some mystery to your game. It felt like the game was insulting me.
It was insulting you because it ain't. They gave you not one puzzle.
No, they didn't.
Think about it.
No, you didn't. It was kill this and move here. You're right. And I don't give a fuck about multiplayer. Fuck multiplayer.
I didn't understand the concept, so I can look across the board and
see this nigga taunt. Come on.
Right. Like, he can't even fight with me. I'm just gonna be watching. Like,
we had one level where we fought together on that game. One level.
Yeah.
One level.
But there's a lot. See,
and this nigga wasn't even good.
And I mean, but there's a lot. Like, that's the thing with with these AAA games now. It's like, okay, all of this time and effort goes into presentation.
You're right. Into trailers and bullshit and not gameplay. You're fucking right.
All of it goes into the presentation. We can say, man, Dante's skin looks smooth as a cracked egg. Like, you know. But that's cool. But I mean, there was a time where I just put down the controller and stopped playing video games, and it's getting closer to that time the way I see more come out, and that's why we started at the beginning. Fuck it. We're gonna go into deep detail of how this game is gonna be shit, but I'm gonna still buy it though.
I got to, because it's my shit. Like, I feel like 7 was like the cornerstone. It's like, I feel like Remake is going to be like a appreciation day of Final Fantasy, but it's not going to have the depth of the mechanics of Final Fantasy. Is going to be like, this is what they liked back in the day, but we're just going to make it look pretty. Like when I seen the E3 demo and saw them fighting the boss, you know, the little scorpion tank
Scarlet
boss.
Scorpion, yeah.
Everybody was amped about it.
Tangent. Jessie looks like Kim Kardashian.
She does. Nigga.
She looks like Kim Kardashian.
And I'm sorry, I don't like the voice actor that's voicing Barrett. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And
there's a petition for people to bring the Advent Children voice actors back.
Please, I'll take it. Movie was dope, by the way.
The complete version was. Don't give me like.
See what you did there.
Like, nah, don't. You can't give me the theatrical version of nothing no more. I don't even trust it. That even goes to Batman v Superman. I don't give me any of that theatrical shit.
I knew Batman v Superman was gonna be shit because of the title.
Hey man, like we that movie gets better as it goes. It's like wine. If you look at the extended cut, it's wine, bro. That movie is great.
I believe that because
it's really like you can't watch that movie all the time, but if you just so happen to pop that shit in and then you look at it from that point of view, Zack Snyder is one of those Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, he's dope. His attention,
you know,
detail,
there's a reason why people are clamoring about the Snyder cut because
and that's there. Did you see the picture of
Darkseid?
Yeah. Ain't that a bitch?
He Zack Snyder had a whole conversation about what he wanted to do with Justice League, and the politics of, you know, like, man, we don't want you to do this anymore. So for you to gracefully step down, we're gonna use your daughter as an excuse.
Man, and that pissed me off too.
That's the corporate aspect of it. It's like, we use your daughter as a crutch to gracefully step down. Because we feel like your approach is too dark, we're gonna go get the director for Avengers and we're gonna make he did Age of Ultron.
Oh, I thought he did one.
No, he did Age of Ultron. And you know, so oh shit.
That's crazy. That's nuts. I watched Age of Ultron last night, and man, when I tell you, the thing about Marvel movies, well, I'm gonna say this: the thing about Avengers versus Justice League, Avengers, when I say they leave breadcrumbs, there were breadcrumbs I didn't even see until I watched Age of Ultron again.
Yeah.
After Endgame, bro.
Yeah, it's It gave you Wakanda.
It branched everything, bro.
Everything.
It gave you Wakanda. It gave you Claw, Wakanda. It gave you Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It gave you what else? It even gave you Endgame. I don't know if you've seen. I posted on Facebook. They gave you Tony dying. They gave you, because look at it like this. Tony had gone through PTSD with the first Avengers movie when he had to do the shit. If you go back and watch Age of Ultron and watch the very end where it's Thor, Tony, and Steve. All of them tell Tony they're going to miss him. But Thor doesn't say it to Cap, and Cap doesn't say it to Thor. Thor says it to Tony. Cap says it to Tony. We're going to miss you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony gives a speech earlier in the movie where he says, I've seen an alien army coming, and they're going to beat us. He was like, what we deal with is gun running and all this stuff, but up there is the ultimate end game. Yeah. I said,
like, I'm trying to put an armor around the world. Yeah.
I said, shit, this man, these niggas that wrote this shit, and that's why I appreciate Avengers better, because when I say I look at stuff 4 steps ahead, them niggas look 10 years ahead.
Kevin Feige.
Kevin,
like, you know, a lot of people don't acknowledge the fact that Kevin Feige was one of the people behind the first X-Men movie.
Yeah,
and
you can tell it too.
And I feel this with Fox Disney acquiring Fox, and what Kevin Feige is going to be capable of doing.
He said, "Give me 5 years. Let him have him. Let him have him."
But see, this is one of those questions that get me. I understand it's a comic book world and anybody can come back at any point in time. Do you feel that Tony Stark was killed too quick? Well, I mean, it's been 10 years, but you got to think about some of the. We got to see the awesome facial hair bros stand face to face with each other. You got to see the only thing I hated about Endgame is I didn't get a no shit Sherlock at some point in time. Right. Like, I paid a good amount of money just to hear somebody say no shit Sherlock. You could have had Peter Parker. You could have had Peter Quill. I mean, I guarantee you there's probably a scene somewhere that
probably cut.
It's probably cut. Yeah, but you know, like you can't have 2 Sherlock Holmes in one scene and then not have somebody you know, and then kind of just
like awkward pause.
You know,
people who get it, people who don't miss it. Right.
You know,
right. I agree. Because I agree. I think what I didn't get that I wanted, and I'm gonna come back to why I feel like we didn't get it. I always look forward to seeing Tony pass that baton or pass that torch, and in a way, indirectly, he gave it to Spider-Man. In a way.
Have you seen Far From Home yet?
I haven't. I'm going to go see it tonight.
Well, it's the torch is passed. You know, it's like, I'll just say this. There is even an excerpt that is said, passing the torch, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You won't get it because it's not a Star Wars reference. This is what is told to Peter Parker. So, without spoiling anything, because I'm not going to do that, you know. This is it cliche to say coming of age story every time we speak about Spider-Man because he's still in high school?
I feel like no, because we got a younger. Tom Holland look like he's fucking 15.
Got like 23 years old.
Right.
But this is the most questionable test of maturation for him in Marvel's cinematic universe story of Peter Parker. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. You have such a great game like Marvel Spider-Man to come out, and for you to see this game, for you to play it, because I'm pretty sure Tom Holland has played it. You know, the director not Matt Reeves, he do Batman. We'll talk about Robert Pattinson and Bruce Wayne in a second. But
you know, he got fired from the scheduling conflict, so he's not Batman no more.
What? Yeah. What a time to be alive.
They took it away from him because of scheduling conflicts. Sure, nigga.
I gotta.
Oh yeah, check it out. Check it out. He ain't Batman no more.
Wow. Hold on. This is
DC figured maybe we'll listen to the people sometime. Yeah, man.
Why they didn't get John?
This was announced a couple of weeks ago.
I gotta see this
because I know I think I was in the hospital when I found out.
I gotta I gotta get this.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not.
To those of you who are listening, he's looking into his phone to confirm the facts.
I'm just seeing a lot about Jaden Smith excited about it.
I fucks with Jaden. I don't care what nobody say. Jaden's hilarious, man. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a big troll. I'll give him that.
Very much so. I say his trolling is on the level of not Tyler the Creator. What's that other nigga? The one who wrote City Girls.
Not Earl Sweatshirt. All right.
What's his name? The nigga with the red braids. Damn. Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty is a troll in every sense of the word, but the young man is brilliant.
Tiger.
Oh,
he was the first one. He was the first one when Soulja Boy was on that.
Mm-hmm.
He had the greatest comeback in 2018. Huh?
Man.
That shit was short-lived, too.
Yeah.
That shit was very short-lived. Ain't he in jail now? Soulja Boy?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think gun charge, I think. He in trouble for that little game console shit too. He said he paid for the license for the games that are on there, but apparently not the Nintendo ones.
this cat.
That's the funny thing that got me. He went on the Breakfast Club talking about his machine and shit, you know. Didn't have the license for the Nintendo games. You know Nintendo don't play that shit. Nintendo's
coming after him, and he gonna say, y'all not excited for a black man, you know, that's trying to do something with himself. I'm like, yeah, but you know, you can't be out here selling Super Mario, nigga.
No, especially when you can fucking go to 2 websites and get it on your phone.
Yeah, like they even sell the cases now to where you could play Super Mario as a Game Boy.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's like,
how much is it?
I think like $24.99.
I'm gonna have to get that.
Yeah, it's like the case itself is an emulator for like Game Boy games.
I'm gonna have
like
to buy
Tetris, that. Like and it's the original screen, so it's not color.
The green one.
Yeah. So
I need that.
So yeah, it's and you know you could charge the case up. You can charge the phone up with the case.
Oh shit, that's cool.
So it doubles as a charger and you can play Game Boy.
That's dope.
Yeah. But I still got my Game Boy Pocket. Like the green Game Boy Pocket.
I just sold my SP. I want to say about.
Hold on. As a matter of fact, were you not playing Mega Man Battle Network at one point?
I didn't even know about Battle Network until I think you put me on.
I got because I got Team Proto Man at the house.
Damn.
Child Blaze is my nigga.
I had an R one. It was white something. It was like the 4th one. You know how they got like Pokemon had different versions of shit.
They had Team Base and they had Team Proto Man.
They had Base?
Yeah, Base was them.
Oh nigga, I need that because
Child Blaze was my nigga. Like I love Child.
The first Mega Man game I bought on the SP was Mega Man and Base.
Ricky Martin, he's a Mexican guy, eh? I love him, Child Blaze. I love him. Like that's my dog. I love Child Blaze, man, because he was such a Gary Oak, but not being a Gary Oak. You know, I love Gary Oak, to be exact. I hated Gary Oak in red and blue. The reason why I hated Gary Oak in the game and not in the cartoon is because in the cartoon you see this flexing ass nigga with the sports car with the cheerleaders, and you know I'm only 10 years old. But you play red or blue, and then you think about, God damn it, you got one Pokemon left and it's on 2%. You right there in front of the Pokemon Center, and then right before you can get into the Pokemon Center, hey, what's up?
Oh man,
I heard you just got a badge.
That is hilarious.
Oh, your Pokemon is weak. You only got one left. Your Pikachu has got like 2% of hit points. Fuck all the formalities, nigga. Let's fight.
Run it.
Right,
That nigga he was literally the most on-site nigga in video game history.
And that's why you got it. And
Gary was the most trolling, this inconvenient ass,
and that's
reoccurring boss ass.
And that's why you have to respect Gary fucking Oak, because you knew that at certain parts of the game, when you first see Gary in Pallet Town, you know he looked like just a normal kid. But when that nigga got to the end of the game and he got all the badges, this nigga came out with a cape, and that's when you knew. That's when you knew he was that nigga. When that nigga had when he had to look his Pokeball out, and you see the cape, nigga. I got that same figure on my fucking nigga. on my bookshelf.
Let's take a moment and absorb that you go against the Final Four,
and he's there.
And you finally beat the fourth nigga.
And he's there.
And he's like, all right, congratulations. But
you gotta fight this nigga. And he's there. It's like, bro. Like
Gary.
Let me tell you something.
Gary the GOAT,
Gary the GOAT. But let me tell you something. This is like, we never really understood why Timmy Turner's dad hated Dinkelberg.
That's a good question.
But if Dinkelberg was on some shit like that, then I would understand. Like I said, I love Gary Oak, but this nigga, like, bro, I had just beat the Elite Four, and like you're here because you wonder. Like, I'm surprised this nigga was not using Mewtwo at the end.
You wouldn't be surprised that motherfucker had him as a starter Pokemon.
Exactly. But it's like, what? I mean, for plot convenience, you know, you have to have your rival. But like, bro, you're annoying as fuck. He has
a theme song.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you knew for like then the theme song played for like 30 seconds before he walked up. Mm-hmm. So you knew he was coming. It's like your player couldn't like, oh, I can't turn around, I can't go this way. This is where certain parts of an RPG were unavoidable.
Yep.
And like because as soon as you left the first gym, and this is for people who are from that era. When you leave the first gym, you going through the forest and everything like that. There's no Pokemon Center for a second.
No, okay.
There's no Pokemon Center for a second.
Grab that potion out your PC, man.
Exactly. And then it's like,
you know to check that.
See, this is the thing, bro. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be quite honest with you, and this is the reason why I have to go back and respect turn-based games today, is because I played the game for the sense of I knew I was playing something like Final Fantasy or Pokemon. Mm-hmm. I didn't go back into the healing aspects. I didn't go back into limit breaks. You see, that's why I was so unsuccessful at that young age, because you really have to be somebody who knows a good amount of algebra almost to a certain extent, because these different material combinations and different things that you could have incorporated with what you was doing at that time. Like, I never, like, you know what I'm saying, I use potions in the middle of a battle, but do you think I ever decided to use potions as I'm in my commute? No. I'm 8 years old. You see what I'm thinking? Pokemon Centers is the only place. I never looked at exploring my menu options and saying, oh, you can heal these while you're still going. But see, and that's the thing. I beat that bitch without doing that. Like the first time. That says something. Right. That's almost like a level 1 run. You know, you only maximizing your XP at save points. Mm-hmm. So now when I go back and I play these games that came out when we was 9 and 10 years old, it's like I got it all figured out now.
Right. You find the formula.
Like you found the formula is over. Mm-hmm. And it don't even play it for a sense of nostalgia, man. It's like some stuff is a testament against yourself. Because I couldn't be that nigga that was 50 years old and said, yeah, man, I played Final Fantasy VII as a kid and never beat it. No. Now I done beat it twice, you know, as an adult. It's on my fucking phone. You know, it's on my phone. Like, I'm right in front of Nibelheim right now. I have spent the past 4 days just grinding.